So we're going to start with a little activity. We're going to look at these sentences on the screen. There we go. And I want you to figure out what the last word of each of them should be. Don't put too much thought into it. Just pick the word that makes the most sense to you. It's a different one for each sentence. Sorry, I'm in your way. There we go. All right, these are the words I chose. Now, I'll bet we matched on 2 of them, but if we polled the room, I'll bet we got a lot of different answers for number 3. Now, this activity that I just had you do is the foundation of how AI works. So, some groaning. Yes, we're going to talk about AI. We're going to get through this together. It's going to be okay. All right. So, AI is built out of large language models, LLMs, okay? And they are built for one task. Put in some text. Tell me what the next word is. This is how AI finished that sentence, by the way. Now, what is a large language model? Well, it's a massive collection of numbers, okay? And your text is turned into numbers too. And so you put those numbers together, do a little math, and you can figure out the probabilities of what the next word should be. And you put that word back in the input and keep going around and around again. Now, where do you get the large language model from? Well, you start with a bunch of random numbers, and you run it through and evaluate it and tweak those numbers and do this over and over and over again, millions and millions of times. And eventually you get something that actually can do one task or maybe a lot of tasks. What does this have to do with thought? When we start talking about machines thinking, we have to talk about Alan Turing. Now, Alan Turing said, rather than trying to figure out if machines can think, which is a very hard question, let's just figure out if they can do the things that thinkers can do, and that'll be good enough. And this became known as the Turing test. Right. But AI doesn't think. It doesn't understand. It doesn't comprehend. It just imitates, right? It doesn't understand cause and effect or time or emotions or love. It just parrots whatever was baked into the model. Okay, just remember, AI is doing math. So what should you use LLMs for? They do their best work with text. They can expand text, summarize text, translate text. If your task is text heavy, they can save you a lot of time and effort. Just don't let it do the thinking for you. LLMs are bad at spatial reasoning and logic. They're bad at arithmetic, which when you think about it, it has to do a bunch of math just to be bad at arithmetic. They're also bad when the task is too open-ended, like that third sentence from earlier. Too many possibilities, not enough context. Don't let them make important decisions for you. They can sound right while they're being wrong. Now, one area that LLMs are really good at is programming. Programming languages also have a grammar and a syntax, just like spoken languages. And AI has shown itself very good because there's just so much code around to train on. AI can even write its own programming language program to extend what it can do, which offers a lot of possibility. Now, this has really accelerated people who know what they're doing to create programs faster. But it's also created vibe coding, which is when people who don't know what they're doing create programs they can't evaluate. And that's really risky for all of us. This whole transition as a programmer has been kind of like the switch from horses to cars. It's faster, it's more dangerous, and it requires different skills. Now, another area that shows great promise is medicine. Right? AI can read through medical records and suggest diagnoses that doctors might have missed. AI vision models are already finding cancers before human radiologists are. AI is saving lives. But there are some risks here. People are starting to put out AI autonomously, and without human oversight, they can be manipulated. They can leak data. They still hallucinate facts. They can still further bias and discrimination. Watch how many of these AI-generated images show a white male professional by default. Now, AI is happening really fast. Okay, driverless cars were working back in the 80s, and we're still on the cusp of that. The first really effective LLMs were only a few years ago, and they're already contributing 40% of GDP growth. That's a pretty big bet on the economy. So it all kind of feels like a bubble waiting to pop a little bit, right? The AI systems themselves are not profitable yet, and companies are already cutting back on jobs, expecting a big growth and productivity from AI, this is going to have long-term consequences for the economy. And some people are going to lose their jobs, whether we like it or not. Most of us won't, and you won't be replaced by AI, but you might be replaced by someone who uses AI better than you. AI is going to become a core skill in most industries. It already is for programmers. Now, we think of AI as virtual, but it lives in data centers. And this has a big effect on energy and the environment. One planned data center will be the size of Manhattan, and it will use as much energy as all the 5 boroughs combined. AI has single-handedly revitalized the fossil fuel industry, contributing to a massive amount of pollution. Clearly, we need to do better than that. It's also been a problem for intellectual property. You can train a model to imitate artists and create new works instantly, and companies are not doing enough to protect them. The only bright side of this is once we're drowning in AI slop, at least maybe we'll value human interactions more. Now, all of this investment is leading towards artificial general intelligence, which is machines that actually do think the way that we do. But it's not clear that scaling today's models is how we get there. It's like trying to go to the moon by spending billions of dollars on better ladders. We're dodging that question that Alan Turing dodged as well, and there's a big gulf between imitation of thought and actual thought. So here we stand on this edge of this digital frontier full of promise, experimentation, risk, and plenty of snake oil. AI is not magic. It's just a tool, and the future depends on how we use it. Thank you.